Welcome into Earnshaw Radio, our first interview of the day, or of our show, I should say, as well. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to this episode. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's a great conversation for the audience out there, because that's all we're going to do on this show. We're going to have a lot of great conversations with some impressive, awesome people. And my first guest for Earnshaw Radio, on Earnshaw Radio, at Earnshaw Radio on X, YouTube, Instagram, you know the whole thing. I want to bring on a very special guest. I actually got to meet him for the very first time at the Beach Football League in Wildwood. That was a lot of fun. He's a wide receiver by nature. He's playing a little quarterback during the Beach Football League. I was like, we got to find this guy some protection. There was no protection for him on the offensive line during those games. All right, maybe next year we'll help him get some protection on the offensive line. But joining me now is a playmaker who's taking his talents across the NFL, the CFL, the USFL, the XFL. He lit it up at James Madison University, where he was a punt return specialist and an absolute nightmare for the Dukes. Won a national championship in the FCS that year as well. He played for the Titans, Raiders, and Chiefs, and most importantly, the Philadelphia Eagles. Spent time with the Birds and won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl 52, the first one. You see it behind me. You see the Inquirer. You see Foles holding it up as well. Let me bring him in. Rashard Davis, former wide receiver from the Philadelphia Eagles, JMU. Man, what's going on? Thanks for joining me, man.
I appreciate you having me on today, man. I'm hop on, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for sitting down. We're going to get into a lot of different things today. But first, I want to kind of revert back a little bit, all right, and talk about your career through high school and through college as well. Now, you were MVP your senior year, and correct me if I'm wrong, that was the first time that your high school made the playoffs during your senior year, correct?
Bro, first time in
10 years, right?
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, so 10 years, that's awesome. Tell me about your high school coach, Chris Johnson. I was watching an old clip from you. He would pick you up and take you to practice and force you to work hard. I know a lot of what you put out there on social media, what you talk about on different podcasts, different shows, is the journey and to not give up and be tough. Talk to me about how he instilled that in you.
Man, it's crazy because looking back at it, obviously you see everything, how it connects, the circle. But at the time, man, Chris was just a coach that, you feel me, we understood that he cared. And at the time, to us, it was like, bro, he just getting on our nerves, bro. Like, why he always trying to, point us out to try to come do some extra stuff? Like, me and my cousin, like, speaking on that story, me and my cousin would be just hanging out over the summertime. You know how it is. Yeah. Like, during the high school years, you ain't really doing too much. You chilling. He would just come, bro. Hottest day of the summer. He would come pick us up. Hey, we're going to the field. Let's go. We out there 4-5 hours getting it in. At the time, we don't realize the importance of it, what he's instilling in us, what he's showing us. But over time, those habits just kind of built in, and it became second nature to the point where we were so unstoppable with ourselves and with our game just because we had, unconsciously had already put the work in. But it's just one of those things, man. Like I said, you look back and you got to respect it, appreciate it, and just show love and support as much as you can, bro.
Yeah, tell me about your high school career. I know you were like 5'6", 105, your like freshman year, right? And that's like what I was. I didn't play football. I was never allowed to play football. But tell me how you progressed through your high school career and what those challenges led to and how you found adversity through them and got past them.
It's crazy. I was always a person that was like, I was just going to show up with my game. Like, I was never a big talker, never a lot of trash talk. I just showed you what I could do by what I did on the field. So I was kind of overlooked because I had came back from basically it was a city school, and I had went to the country for a little bit, a couple seasons playing Little League. And then when I came back, nobody kind of knew me like, everybody else that was around. They had kind of played their cards and showed their name. So I had to kind of work my way back in. Really just stand in the back. When my opportunity came, I would go out there and ball. And then I remember like it was one game, a kick return was kicked short, and I scooped it and started making some people miss. It was like, hold on, who is that? I'm like, I been could do this.
Was there a particular moment when you're in high school where like, hey, I could go somewhere with this?
I mean, honestly, bro, I always thought I could, just because like the way I grew up with my family, it was a big family. You know what I mean? A lot of cousins, a lot of nephews, brothers, sisters, whatever the case. But we were just always into sports. We were all good. Everybody was talented. So it was just one of those things where you on a playground, you know what I mean? You racing everybody. I was always winning. Like you feel me? You at a field, like during recess, everybody playing football. I'm juking everybody, but it's kind of easy. It's effortless. So it was never a thought of like, can I go somewhere to do this? It was always like, I'm about to go to the NFL. Like that's
Right.
what I want to do. You know what I mean?
That's a fantastic mentality to have, and it led you to JMU, where you had a fantastic career. 2016, 4 punt returns, led the nation. I mean, talk to me about that year. You won the national championship. What was that like to be a part of a championship team in college at JMU?
It was crazy, bro, because like I said, going back to high school, I was never a guy that kind of spoke out like a big rah-rah guy. I just showed what I could do on the field. I went through a lot of adversity in high school, being looked down upon just because of my height and different things like that. But I always showed what I could do in the end. So I just took that with me to college. I came in. I wasn't the biggest recruit that we had at JMU, but, you know, people still know I had some game. It's just what I was. I was on the field. When I got my opportunity, like I said, I showed them. I made the plays. So then they started seeing like, okay, he consistent. He's balling. So, you know, working my way all the way up. We had 3 different head coaches, bro. Like in my 4 years at JMU, I had 3 different head coaches. And throughout those years, I kind of got knocked back down just because it wasn't my initial head coach. I got looked over. You know what I mean? I got some guys put in front of me or whatever the case, just because you know how it is. Guys come in, they got their own set of guys that they want to bring. But all of that kind of, you know, played its part into going into that last year where you face all this adversity. You'd have made it through all of these no's and these lessons and different things of that nature, different obstacles to kind of take you out. So now you done built yourself up. But not only you also done work with your team. So y'all built chemistry along those years. And then, you know, when it all clicks, man, it's just like a perfect picture. Like nobody could stop us, bro. We was crushing teams.
I remember when you guys won, and that year you had 15 punts for 426 yards. I believe that's like 28 yards average per attempt. I mean, that's crazy stuff. We know you were a speedster. With returning punts, I just gotta ask, and I'm sure a lot of people out there, is there any pressure? Like, do you feel pressure specifically you when you're watching that ball and you got to catch it? We've seen fumbles and muff punts all the time. I mean, what's that like? What when you're on the field and you have all that pressure on you and everybody watching you, you got to catch the football and not make a mistake. What's that just like?
Man, I think you don't even look at it as pressure. Like you, especially when you get to that point in your career, because you done went through so many trials and tribulations where like everyone's going to feel the nerves, you know what I mean? Like the little butterflies before the game. But once the game gets going, once you get that first hit, initial blow, whatever, like you're good to go. So when you're back there at punt return, bro, it's one of those plays that can make or break the game in a sense of like either you could go do something big, you could just give us, you know, the field position that we need to go down and score, or you could really just mess up the whole momentum shift or give the other team a momentum shift. So you just got to be confident in who you are and then understand at the same time, like the coach is not going to put everybody back there on punt return.
Right.
You feel me? Like it got to be a certain level of trust there. So understanding that, you got to be like, all right, they trust me. I got to trust myself that I'm out here for a reason. So let's go ahead and show why.
Yeah, like it's like I feel catching a punt is more of a mental thing than even a skill thing. Would you agree with that?
Nah, most definitely. Like you definitely got to have just that hand and eye coordination.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's definitely more of a mental thing because the ball's in the air. You know what I mean? And when it comes down, you got to realize, hey, those people are running at me real fast. They are. My head off, bro. So if I don't, you know, calculate this right, this could be disastrous. But so like you said, you just got to be confident, bro, and just trust it that, hey, I just got to stay calm in the pocket, basically catch it, and then now we can get busy after that.
Yeah, it just seems like I could never do it. I mean, listen, I think I got a lot of confidence, but I don't know. I feel like I would make the wrong decision. I would go up for the fair catch and then wait, I actually kind of want to return this. I should have returned it. There's nobody near me for 15 yards, you know? So I feel like it's all mental, and you kind of just explain like it really is.
It's like that sometimes, though. Sometimes you fair catch, and you're like, dang, I actually had a little bit more space than I thought.
Yeah.
But, you just live and learn. You get that one next time.
I love it. So you mentioned you had 3 head coaches throughout your time at JMU. I mean, how difficult is it to change head coaches, change leaders, as well as offenses, as well as scheme throughout your college career? And what is that challenge like?
Yeah, it's not an easy task. First off, college football isn't an easy task.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean? It's more of a job than people think. But having 3 different head coaches, having that turnover, it kind of builds you up, right? So while you going through it, you breaking down, you building up walls, you building up character, all of this thing. But when you, like I said, fast forward and you in a tough situation or something that matter, like, you good, like you're in a safe place within yourself because you're like, okay, I've been here before or in a similar situation, and I know that if I just trust the process, stay with it, I'll be cool. You know what I mean?
Right. And you obviously you had a lot of success your senior year. You guys go in, win a championship, and then you transition to the NFL. And I want to talk about someone specific before we get into the NFL talk. And Perry Jones, what did he mean for your career heading through college and into the NFL?
A lot, man. He was a guy that kind of a similar situation. Came out of school. He was a smaller guy. He was kind of an underrated guy coming out, and did what he did, grinded out, and got what he deserved. And he was a guy that I connected with basically soon as I came back to Charlottesville. And it was crazy how things work out. Like, you look around and you see how God then kind of worked in your life, and Perry's one of those things, bro. Like, I don't even remember how we initially connected, but I think I just ran into him somehow. And I was supposed to go somewhere to train. That ended up not happening. He was trying to get into training, and it was just like a perfect storm. Like, he was able to give me his time. You know what I mean? I was there waiting and wanting the time, so we was able to just click, connect. He really kind of helped me out. Not even helped me out, bro. He really kind of transformed me to really go show out in my pro day and kind of get the numbers that I got. Like, running that 4.38 in 40-degree weather ain't easy. You feel me? Like, but he kind of pushed me, and we was already training in cold weather too.
Yeah.
And the thing he had me doing was just preparing me for that moment, bro. So it was honestly just like a perfect storm, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny how things work out. And you mentioned like working out in the cold weather. I've been out in some of those games, man. High school, college, like, it's rough, and to run a 4.38 is insane. Like, it's insane. So I'm sure he had a lot to do with it. And, sometimes you just run into those people where it's like, hey, I don't know how this happened, but they've helped me along the way. And this has been huge for my career and just life in general. And you talk about having that tough mentality over and over again. Was that kind of part of the process where just keep having that tough mentality, especially running out into the cold weather?
Bro, first off, the tough mentality started the first day with Perry. I'm thinking, I never met this person for real. I never trained with. Listen, I'm thinking an acclimation first day. Nah, bro.
He didn't ease you in at all, did he?
Listen, Nick, I was in the car after the session like an extra 30 minutes just trying to get my hands to grip the steering wheel, bro. Like,
oh, it's one of those.
Killing me legs. I'm like, bro, what? But it's just one of those things, bro. Like, again, it just builds you up to where another tough task, another obstacle in the way, you either gonna get through it or you gonna make an excuse. You feel me? So
that's how it goes. It's just how it goes. And it's a great story, man. I mean, going from college, meeting Perry, and then going undrafted, but ending up with the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, listen, you see it behind me. I talked about it in the intro during the show. I was a senior in high school, so I'll tell you what, it meant a lot when you guys won that whole thing. It meant a lot that year to this area for sure. I want to talk to you about that kind of year. I mean, you come off the championship, winning it in college. What is the vibe like heading in the camp for you? You're a guy who's trying to fight, claw, scratch, make the roster. You end up on the practice squad. What is that like heading into that camp?
Bro, a lot of people don't even notice, man. It's crazy how it even played out. Like, coming out of college, I had a bunch of calls like, A lot of NFL teams checking up on me, see if I'm healthy, especially after I ran the 4.3. It was like, all right, even more calls, even more interest. I had a couple teams like, we're gonna sign you right after the draft. We're gonna take you late. I had 2 rookie minicamp invites. Basically, that's how I kind of started out. Like after the draft process, things was kind of dry, but then 2 rookie minicamp invites. I did well at them, I thought, but didn't end up getting signed. You know what I mean? The numbers are what the numbers are. So I'm home all summer, bro. When guys are like in training camp, you know what I mean?
Right.
They going through, they getting their playbooks, getting acclimated with the team. I'm at home like, dang, I'm thinking, I'm supposed to be on the team somewhere, but, instead of kind of giving up or just like down in my own whatever, like I was like, all right, let's just keep working. I'm going to just be ready whenever that call do come. I got a feeling it's going to come. I don't know when, but I'm going to be ready. And it's crazy, bro. I was at work one day waiting tables, like really just
Wow.
at the restaurant waiting tables, bro. And I got the call. Long story short, had a workout the next day with Philly. Flew up. I think early next morning, I think I flew out, or that night. Killed the workout, bro, and then ended up signing me. Was there from it was after the first preseason game, so from 2nd to the 4th, playing preseason, and they ended up releasing me. And I'm like, dang, but you look back at it like you come in that late, you kind of already camp body. But in my situation, I had talked to some of the guys that was already there before me. They was like, bro, you'll be back. Like you showed enough. You'll be back. Sure enough, bro. Like I think it was either 2 or 3 weeks later, they had called me back up there. And that's kind of how the journey, continues.
Yeah. It's really cool that you were able to come back. And, that's wild that you're waiting tables and then you get the phone call. I mean, how surreal is that moment when you get that call like, hey, I might be going to training camp here and might play in some preseason games?
It's dope, bro, because so I had a couple calls like before that. The Cardinals called me, and I can't remember, it was another team too. Like they had called me a couple times, but it would just be, hey, are you healthy? How are you feeling? Keep you on the short list just in case. So when the Eagles called me, I'm thinking it's another one of those calls. Yeah. And like prior to that call, bro, it's crazy because like I had been working at that restaurant maybe like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Now was this back? Where was this at? Was this back in your hometown?
Yeah, this was back in Charlottesville. Wow.
Yeah.
So prior, like leading up to the call, like I forgot how we got to talking about it, but people at the restaurant be like, bro, it's like, what do you do? Or like da da da. I'm like, I play football. Like I'm trying to play in the NFL, da da da. Like you hear people talk all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. And I'm telling them, hey, listening, but it's like, all right, oh, cool, like cool. So then when I actually got the call and I went to go play, and then I'm up there playing and stuff, like ever since I would come out, they like, bro, that's crazy. Just like how it all happened, how it went down, bro. And it's, just one of those movie things, those surreal moments where it's like in the moment, like I didn't really understand the magnitude of the situation, but just looking back at it, you like nobody with God, man.
Yeah. Talk to me about that year. You're on the team, you're on the practice squad. When Wentz goes down, what's it like around the team? What is the energy like when he goes down in Los Angeles?
What? Crickets, boy. You would think.
Wow.
You would think, I don't know, like the sky split in half, bro. But like I'm talking about because he scored. You know what I mean? Like
right.
The game is already a game that's like, all right, this is about to go down to the end. It's a classic showdown.
Yep. I remember.
Bro, that was the first time I ever seen Todd Gurley play in person. I said, this man is an alien. Like, hands down, he's killing us by himself, bro. Like, and if I remember correctly, the way the game went, this man was destroying us. Like, bro, I said, I've never seen a person that big run that fast, that elusive. Like, it was crazy, bro.
Insane. That was prime Gurley around that time.
So, the game was already high intense, and everybody was kind of already like, all right, you feel me? We got to bounce back. So Carson scored. We lit. Like, let's go. Come on the field, da-da-da. And then they like, all right, take him to the locker room. Take him to the locker room. Like, what's going on? Then come back. Oh, ACL. Like, ACL. Like, what? We like, bro, don't say that.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things, like I said, like, it's not that we didn't think Nick could do it. Nick did. It's just Carson was firing on so many cylinders. Like, the way he was playing that year was unmatched by anybody across the league at the same time. Like, he was making plays that was crazy, especially for his size, bro. He was getting out of pockets and different.
I would argue that Carson Wentz that year was Mahomes-esque before Mahomes. Yeah. Would you agree with that assessment?
Bro, like I'm saying, the plays he was making, like he had 3 dudes in the sack. I said a sack in the pocket tackling him, and he somehow get out and then throw the ball 30 yards down the field.
Yeah.
Like,
like he was on an MVP track that year. So like I understand why like it was probably crickets, right? Like you said. When did you guys feel like, all right, Nick can be the guy to lead us to the promised land? Because you guys were underdogs every single game heading into the Super Bowl, including the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah. I mean, it was just one of those things where like it wasn't even like when we talk about that team, bro, the thing that made us special was like everybody was close with everybody. Like it wasn't this clique, the quarterbacks, the linebackers, like it was everybody with everybody, like no matter.
That was the electric slide year. Everyone was doing the electric slide right on defense.
Like, but it was like even outside of the stadium, bro, outside of the locker room, like if we had an event, everybody at the event. If we had like something going on, everybody there. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't so much as can Nick do it? It's like, all right, bro, like just the same way we've been balling, like we all still together. You know what I mean? Like we're going to pick it up even more. We're going to go harder, you know what I mean, in practice, in games. Like, it just is what it is. So, it was just one of those things like, all right, we a team. Like, one person go down, the next man step up, and we just plugging and playing. It ain't no fall off, nothing changing in the organization, the locker room, no nothing. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you understand, and do you think most guys understood, or do you think a lot of people on the team didn't realize the magnitude of winning that game? And then when you got to Broad Street, is that when it hit you, or you think it hit a lot of people at that point, or was it like, oh my goodness, what did we just do? We just won the Super Bowl for the first time ever in this city. Because that parade, I was there. I was in the stands. I might have hit you with a beer. I don't know. It could have happened. Yeah. But tell me what that experience was like. And like, did you realize the magnitude of what you guys just accomplished?
Bro, most definitely. Like even when we had the game won and it was coming down to those last minutes and Brady still threw like a Hail Mary pass. Yeah. We were all still like, bro, at the end of the day, it's Brady. Like, it don't matter what is out there, it's Brady. So when the clock hit 0 and we won, oh yeah, it was over with. It was over with. It was going crazy, bro. You'd have thought the president just got elected. Like it was magnitude was unmatched because it was like, all right, for one, we were already underdogs from the beginning before the playoffs even started. You know what I mean? They never even expected us to make it nowhere near close to the Super Bowl. And then 2, to take out Tom Brady. All right, like, you know what I mean? So,
that's icing on the cake. I mean, that's the icing on the cake there, Rashard. Like, you take out one of the best, or the best of all time, arguably, whoever you're talking to. I think he is the best of all time. But to take him out and then get to Broad Street, tell me about that day in particular.
It was wild, man. It was because it's crazy because when you go back down Broad Street after the parade, it doesn't even look the same, bro. Like it was so many people out there. The street didn't even look the same. Like it was people up on the buildings, up on the wall, and it was so cold, like
freezing that day.
I'm trying to think. I don't even know the temperature, but I definitely did not dress the right way.
It was cold.
It was cold.
It was cold. It was really cold that day.
The fact that the city, like obviously Philly is used to the cold, but the fact that the city still showed out like that outside for that long, bro, and that type of weather, it just speaks magnitude to the city, bro. That was the craziest day.
I mean, this is the greatest fan base. This is the greatest fan base ever of all time. Did you know the passion that Philly fans had coming into when you first got here?
Nah, bro. I'd never been to a Philly game. I don't even think I've been to Philly before I had the team, bro. So when I got there, they kind of, told me about it a little bit, but you don't really understand it until you're in the link and it's going crazy.
It's nuts.
Monday Night Football, you got Dallas in there. It's going crazy. Easy, bro.
Well, that's who they're going to open the season up against heading into this year. So that's going to be fascinating. You mentioned how close-knit that team was. And I want to talk about Chris Long. I know you guys did a podcast together a few years back, right? I remember this clip distinctly. The wash your hands thing before you go to the bathroom. Can you tell me about this whole thing? You said you do it with who else now? Like you do it with people you know, your kids. What do we got going on here with this? You wash your hands before you go to the bathroom. This is wild to me.
Bro, listen, because when C. Long kind of put out the formula, it was just like, that make a lot of sense, bro.
It kind of does.
Like, what are we doing? Like, you think about it. I'm going to give a backstory for the people.
I need to hear this. I need to hear this. This is hilarious.
I'm pretty sure it's when we was out in Anaheim.
Okay.
I think we were going to practice. I think we just pulled up to the locker room, whatever, go to practice. Everybody, when you get off the bus, 9 times out of 10, you just had a good drive. It's a good amount of people getting off the bus going straight to the bathroom. So, it was just what it was. Like, everybody get off the bus, boom, you go to the bathroom, you waiting. Everybody, like, when you funnel to the bathroom, everybody goes straight to the toilet. Like, everybody just lining up. Chris goes straight to the sink. Like, but then I was in my head, I'm thinking like, all right, he's just gonna wash his hands and leave. He went to the sink, washed his hands, but then he peed. I'm like, and then I wasn't the only one that even caught it. It was like multiple people because it became a thing. And he was like, bro, what? He was like,
what's going on here?
Like, you don't wash your hands before you pee? You don't want to keep your Johnson clean? Like, you put all that dirt in your it would be like, bro. And when I thought about it, I'm like, you're right. You just walked in the building, you touched the doorknob, you pushed the door open, you shook his hand, and then you went and touched. Dang, bro, that's a lot of germs, bro. That's a lot.
I saw this clip before, and I remembered it, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, this is insane. Like, I need to ask about this. It's a wild question, I know, but I thought it was a funny thing that he went first, and you guys were talking about it on the show. I was like, this is hilarious.
Bro, because it's one of those things. It's like, why don't people just go wash their hands first?
True.
But then when you hear it's like, you wash your hands first? It's like, yes. Why would you not wash your hands?
And this kind of shows like how close knit that group was, like together. I mean, we're talking about wash your hands before you go to the bathroom. And this is the question I had to get off here on the show because, like, it's crazy. Like, is that like how many good memories do you have from that team and are just like, wow, that was a fun year. Even not even with the Super Bowl, just with the guys in general.
Bro, I mean, memories on end. Like, you get to the point where you around guys so much, and mind you, this only in a season span that we're kind of talking about with all of these memories. Like, you got so many memories that you don't really realize, like, in that moment, you don't really remember it. Then something come up, you're like, yo, remember we was doing that? So it's like, it's memories on them, bro. Like, that's a team, like I said, like, it's a reason we won the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Everybody was locked in. And not just everybody hung out. Everybody wanted to hang out. Like, everybody was having a good time hanging out.
It wasn't forced.
Yeah, like, you didn't have to be there. Everybody wanted to be there.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome hearing stories from that team. Someone who grew up in this area, and I was a senior in high school. I had a buddy who lost a bet. He had to join me and wear an Eagles jersey. Non-Eagles fan, by the way. Sit out in that cold. So we had a good time that day. So that was a lot of fun. Before you get out of here, I want you to talk about the 1,000 hours training program that you do have, and also 1,000 hours out the mud podcast. Just tell me a little bit about how that came about. I know A stands for anonymous, and then you talked about the journey with 1,000 hours. Just tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so 1,000 hours for me, man, it's like it kind of encompasses like my journey and just the things I've been through. The A stands for anonymous, and it pairs with 1,000 hours. Like, the way I kind of think about it is like everybody's kind of working and grinding to get to a certain place, destination, or wherever we're all grinding to try to get to. You know what I mean? Like, somebody's in school to try to be a doctor right now. Somebody's trying to be an NFL player. Like, we never know when our opportunity will come, but if we constantly put the time in, put the work in, then you're going to be ready whenever the opportunity comes. So the anonymous part is just like how much time you got to put in. How long is it going to take? I don't know, but I just know if I continue to put that work in, put that time in, it's going to happen eventually. So when that call come, I'll be ready. And 1,000 hours out the mud, man. Like I said, I started 1,000 hours, and I played with my boy John Franklin III. Shout out my boy, Last Chance U legend, Florida State legend, Auburn legend. You know what I mean? Plantation High School. Me and him, man, we had connected out in the USFL, and been locked in ever since. I moved out here to Tampa, and we was like, bro, we might as well combine our podcast. Like, he already had one. I was going. And, you know, when you have that two-person camaraderie, if somebody just bounced off of, you know what I mean, it just makes it that much more exciting and better. So that was one thing that we had already doing in our own regards. And then we was like, man, we on the same page with it. We already been locked in. We might as well just go ahead and, you know, join forces and do this together. Basically just pushing the narrative, man, like showing the young kids and next, like what it takes to make it. Like it's a lot, you know. A lot of people don't understand the grind, the journey, but it's a lot to go into it. It's also rewarding though if you know, take the time and really dive into it and give yourself the best chance.
Absolutely. Rashard, I want to thank you for just sitting down for a couple of minutes, talking birds, talking about your career as well. It's a fascinating story. It's an awesome story. Thank you so much for joining Earnshaw Radio. I
appreciate it, man. Hey, for all the kids out there too, I got an online training platform. You know, if y'all guys want to get the tips that I give my pro guys, college guys, tap in. It'll be patreon.com/1000 hours training.
Rashard Davis, everybody, Super Bowl 52 champion with the Philadelphia Eagles right here on Earnshaw Radio. Thanks so much again. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.